Wendy Williams' guardian is suing Lifetime because she's alleging that Wendy Williams was exploited on that show and she only made $82,000. Okay, that's all that she made on that show. While I guess everybody else may have racked up millions. Now I'm gonna say this, and we're gonna get into this article over here on Deadline that's gonna give us more details. I do not like the fact that yes, Jacqueline, I've been in two of them. Um, I do not like that Wendy only got 82 racks and other folks around her may have gotten a million. I don't think that is fair. If that is indeed accurate, I do not support that. I don't think that is fair at all because you use this lady's likeness. Like we tuned in for her. So shame on y'all if she only got that amount of money and y'all got millions of dollars, okay? So that's the first thing I want to get out there. Second thing, if you're new to my channel, I have definitely been on the R's of Wendy Williams Guardian. Okay, I did a whole video. You can do a search for guardianship on my channel and you'll find a long video talking about guardianships and how they prey on older individuals and pretty much swipe all of their coins, property from underneath them. Okay. And based on how Wendy's whole situation turned about, she was doing all right. She was doing fine. I mean, I'm sure she's always had her health stuff, but she was able to manage. And out of nowhere, her accounts and stuff started getting locked up. She got locked out of her account. They gave her a conservatorship. I'm sorry, not a conservatorship, but a guardianship, which is not much different from a conservatorship, in a sense. But somebody else controls her. Okay, her money and all of that. It got so bad. I know in Vegas, this one lady was just taking advantage of these parents. This girl didn't know what her parents were. She had to do research and she was able to find, because they stopped communicating. The guardians don't really communicate with the family once they take over possession of your family member. Okay. It starts off like they act like they're going to be talking to you and then they fade out. It's very little communication. And when you listen to the documentary, it's on brand with everything else, or the docuseries. It's on brand with everything else I've heard from other people whose families have been caught in guardianships. It's like they forced them into one when nobody asked for their services to begin with. In addition to that, this one lady had it so bad because you can be a professional guardian. How you go about that, I don't know. I'm seeing a lot of attorneys are professional guardians out there in New York, but this woman wasn't an attorney out in Nevada. I think she may have taken a class or started a business of some sort, and she just went from there. Okay, so she'll pull up to old folks' house, intimidate them, tell them they only got limited options. One of the options is for them to go to a facility or go somewhere else. They end up going to like a nursing home or whatever. Then they take over their possessions, and when those people need items, whether it's clothes, underwear, food, they buy those items from those people with their money, and then turn around and charge those people more for those. So if the pants may be like $10, they'll charge them $40 for the pants. And then also, how was it, like, pay for the stuff out of their own pocket, out the old folks' pocket, okay? And then charge them for what they're doing. Charge them for the products that they're getting. And then the services too. So it's just, they just was, girl, you talk about exploitation and you want to talk about somebody exploiting Wendy. Hello? Okay? Because Kevin Hunter, Wendy's ex-husband, y'all know he was supposed to be getting a check that he and Wendy agreed to for the after the divorce settlement. Once Sabrina took over, those checks stopped. So now he's taking her to court. She has been prolonging giving this man the financial records for 2 years now, and I do not understand why a judge has not put their foot down and enforced it. In order for the case to move forward, he needs his discovery, which is those financial records. Okay. Now they had a meeting back in April and he told her, listen, okay, this is what the judge saying, like, you're going to have to give him them records. Like you just going to have to do it. But I feel like he's not, I feel like as a judge, in my opinion, I don't know if they have the authority or not, but when a judge asks you more than one time to do something and provide paperwork to the other counsel or the other party, and you don't, I feel like you should be held in some type of contempt because she's prolonging this. You ain't giving this man the financial records because it's making me question, is the woman broke, or do you not want them to see how her money is being spent? Because that's the only thing. Because I feel like if you're doing everything by the book like you're supposed to, it's nothing to offer up the financial records. And if you feel like he's not deserving of the money, again, it's nothing to offer up the financial records. Go ahead and give the documentation so we can go ahead and make this case closed. Kevin, you're not getting nothing or whatever. Then she tried to sue Kevin and say that he owed money, like back money, because he got money when he wasn't supposed to get it or something like that. And I'm like, girl, are you crazy? So that's a situation. I haven't heard anything since April about what's going on with Sabrina Morisi, which is the guardian of Wendy, and what's going on with Mr. Kevin. Kevin, Kelvin, whatever he is this week, next week's tomorrow, today. But what we do see is that the guardian decided to file a lawsuit on behalf of Wendy Williams. Now, keep in mind, she tried to sue Lifetime before to stop this documentary from happening. But the judge told her, no, you can't do that. Okay, I believe he said something like freedom of speech or something like that. Like that'll be violating them. Like they have a right to move forward with this. She tried to stop this doc. She did. So she let it happen. And now it's so interesting to me that records are being requested of you, financial records. And then one, we haven't heard about anything progressing. We haven't heard about you submitting financial records. But what we are hearing is that now that you've gotten access to how much she was paid, now you want to come to the front and you want to sue Lifetime because they received millions, if they did. But Wendy only received 82,000. Now listen, I'm slick here for Wendy getting her coins. Don't misunderstand that. I am here for her getting her coinage, period. Because the motherfucking audacity, and it's not really just Lifetime in the Wendy situation. They do this with a lot of just actors and personalities in general. The talent gets paid minimal, and the people behind the cameras and stuff, production companies, begin millions of dollars. So I'm here for that, but what I'm not here for is who the money or who the person is that's going to have access to that. Okay, that's a problem for me. That's the problem for me, because you're suing on behalf of Wendy, but who's going to have access to that money is going to be the guardian. And y'all sat up there and played little Kevin out when his mama wanted to be with him and threatened that boy with charges of kidnapping and all this and that, and saying he was mishandling her funds and doing this and doing that. And I saw right through that shit, just like I be seeing through the Braxtons. Okay? Child. It's a scary thing, because girl, it's a crazy thing in this world. It's a crazy thing. Boy didn't even know where his mama was for a period of time. Forced the lady to sell the damn condo. Condo ended up selling. Okay, because Wendy is believing that she's broke, but then also at the same time wondering where the hell the money go, because I had money in there. And I believe she had money in there, because why would she sit up there and lease a apartment for her son that I think may have been 10, I don't know how many millions, so I'm not even gonna put it out there. She leased an apartment for her son with the intentions of purchasing it after a year. When she went to her advisor at Wells Fargo, like, okay, I want to make a move on going ahead and purchasing this property for my son, then all of a sudden flags are coming, because Wendy is making purchases, but she's not returning back to work, right? Flags are coming. Oh, somebody want to take over her money, and did all this weird stuff. I'm like, Wendy knew she had money, and she wasn't that down and out. Wendy down and out now that she has a guardian. She's at her worst, in my opinion. Okay. But I do feel like Wendy was fully aware of what her intentions were. She had already told the lady prior, like a year prior, like, I'm going to lease this property, then I'm going to buy it. If he likes it, whatever, I'm going to buy it. So when she went to her to let her know, like, okay, let's make a move, all of a sudden she flipped. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like she knew she had money in that account. Even Kelvin, whichever, the ex-husband came out and said there was money in that account. Of course she knew she had, because first of all, why would they agree on how much this mother supposed to get paid? Granted, it was tied to how much she, I think it also was tied to him getting a certain amount based on when she works the show or something like that. But I'm sure he likely was going to get like whatever was owed to him as well. Not just going forward like the spousal support or whatever, but whatever else, retroactive that he was supposed to get too. But girl, it's just a mess. It's a mess. He said money was in that account. I don't think Wendy would have moved forward with trying to purchase something for her son if she didn't know money was in the account. So why are we watching her on this damn docu-series and it's like she ain't got no money and she got to sell off clothing and items and not sell her fucking condo and stuff? Like, bitch, are you crazy? That shit got to be hot. Hot. Okay, I can't. And nobody's really doing. It's like it's a helpless situation. It's like you can't do anything. You can't do anything. You saw when she was with her family, like she was in her best spirits. But when she's up in New York around folks that's not for her, she's in worse condition. They moved her from her condo to some home or wherever it was. The family didn't have access to her for some time. Then stories started coming out. I think the brother said that he talked to the sister. I don't trust him no way. I'm sorry. One minute he talking, then the next minute he's like, oh, I talked to Wendy. She's in the best space that she ever could be. And, it just don't seem trustworthy, okay? It just don't be sounding right. So I don't know what the hell going on. But I'm going to get into this article here. But I feel away, okay? Because BITCH, where the fuck that lady money at? And when the fuck is you finna send these financial records to Kelvin so that he can really get into some things, all right? That's crazy work. Oh, girl. Let's keep going. So they're saying the Guardian for Wendy Williams has filed an amended lawsuit against A&E Networks and E1 over the Lifetime documentary reality project Where is Wendy Williams that aired in February, claiming that the TV personality was exploited in her participation and paid just $82,000 for the project. I can't already with this article because this like Wendy Williams situation, y'all, truly pisses me the fuck. It really do. It really bothers me so bad because you want to talk about exploiting when y'all force people into guardianships that they do not ask to be in. It's crazy to me. Crazy. The Guardian, Sabrina Maurici, also claimed that Williams' signature on her contract with E1 to produce the series does not appear to be genuine. She called that into action a long time ago when she tried to stop that lawsuit. When she tried to stop the show from coming out the first time. And then I think but they finessed her, okay? And I think Wendy and her people or whoever, maybe the family, I don't know, but I feel like a finesse went on because Wendy has one production company from my understanding, and I believe she did this one under a different one that may not be tied to Sabrina or something. So there was some finessing that was happening. Okay, not in a bad way like against Wendy, but more so Wendy could be able to get some type of money and do it outside of Sabrina just a little bit. Okay, so she's calling into question, saying that her signature did not seem to be genuine, and there's no evidence that she signed the agreement on January 25th. Y'all should have recorded Wendy. Y'all should have recorded her. I wish I would have recorded her. As much documenting you guys have done, I wish I would have filmed her signing this and saying that this is what she wants to do. Okay, they go on to say Williams, the lawsuit stated, was incapacitated and unable to consent at the time the contract or its amendments were executed, even if she had signed it, which she did not. See, this is what pisses me off so much, y'all. It's the language and the actions for me. If you felt that she was unable to consent to the contract and the amendments that were executed, why do you think she was able to consent to having a guardian, which she did not? I am confusion. Why? Why is it okay for them to be able to use this language against other people in these lawsuits and stuff, but ain't nobody using this language with y'all? And I don't know what the family is doing, and I don't know if they're trying a lot behind closed doors. They can't. I know, when I did my guardianship video, like it was a struggle. It was a struggle. It took a minute for that girl to be able to get access to her parents. But I tell you one thing, once she did, because she kept fighting, they sued that lady. That lady went to jail. She went to prison. And they sued her and was awarded for $9 million for the she pulled. Okay? So I don't know if they're fighting and we just don't know nothing about it, but I know Kevin fighting for his little coin. Okay. But I also see the agenda just a little bit like, yeah, he fighting for himself, but he knows that once he's able to get some financial records and it's unsealed or whatever, she's going to be exposed. So I feel like as though a lot of people may feel like he's against Wendy at the same time, because he cheated on her. Even though I thoroughly believe that Wendy was in support of that, as long as the public didn't know. I refuse to believe this man could have a mistress for 10 years and you not know about it. Okay? When everybody else found out about it and it was a baby, it was time for a divorce. Okay? Um, so I feel like, and also when you think about his son, I think he still may be operating like, yeah, I'm operating for self, but I know it could likely benefit her a bit, once I expose these people. Okay? So I don't know. We'll see. And I could be wrong. He could just be in it all for self. All for self at the end of the day. Um, but yeah, I don't know what the family is doing behind the scenes. I don't know if they feel helpless, hopeless. I don't know. I know people say that her sister is an attorney, but she may not be this type of attorney. I don't know the type of attorney she is, and understand, depending on the state she works in, everybody's laws are different. So I don't know. Okay, but I will hope and pray that somebody is working on this behind the scenes, because this is some crazy. This is crazy. And then, y'all, I showed y'all another video on another live that's separate. I don't even know if I included it in that guardianship. But one girl, they took her mama. She didn't know where the hell her mama was. Finally was able to get in touch with a guardian. Once she got in touch with that guardian, the conversation started to fade out. She could never go see her mom that was at a nursing home. And let me tell y'all, that girl mama passed away in a nursing home. The girl found out a few days later. The guardian sent her an email and said, your mother has passed. You can now go and collect her things. I don't even know if she said sorry, but it was really like a shrug shoulders type of response. Like, are y'all okay? I'm afraid that's exactly what's going to happen to Wendy. They're going to use up her resources, eat up on her coins, and then turn around. Sorry, she's gone. Here you go. You can now plan her funeral. We're done with her. That's what it's given. Another black man had sat up there and had a brownstone. They took over him, had a brownstone, okay? I be damn, I work hard all my life, paid millions, and bought this property that's supposed to be a part of my legacy and stay within my family. And you mean to tell me that child guardians can go and sell that shit? I think this was in Brooklyn. Went and sold it, and then the bitch got a profit off of it. Do you hear what I say? The guardians is not no fucking joke, okay? It's not a damn joke. And I feel like, in my opinion, it's giving legal scam. But that's just my opinion. Okay, but let's keep going. They go on to say her representatives disclosed earlier this year that she had been diagnosed with primary progressive aphasia and frontal temporal dementia. Okay, Williams had participated in the documentary and served as an executive producer. Yeah, I just feel like if they did do her like this, I'm hoping that, receipts come to the front and they show that, no, Wendy got paid a substantial amount. Okay, more than that. Now, I don't know if, and then here's the other part, okay? So this is what I'm wondering in my head. Okay, let's start. Okay. So if she got paid the $82,000, I do think she needs to get paid more. But then my question is, because Wendy, even though we watched the docu, even though she seemed out of it, sometimes she didn't seem completely out of it. So my question also is, could she have made sure a portion of that money went to her child and her family, or primarily her child? I don't know. I'm just questioning, which is why she could have potentially been paid $82,000, because she wanted to make sure he was good, because he's the one that's in college. I don't know if he was listed as an executive producer or if he was listed at all. I don't know. But I would have hoped that even Kevin, the son, would have gotten some money from this. But what else? So the amended lawsuit filed Monday in New York Supreme Court follows an unsuccessful effort by Morrissey to halt the airing of the documentary earlier this year. She had sought a court order to stop the project, arguing in February that the project was a blatant exploitation of a vulnerable woman with a serious medical condition. Do y'all hear this language? A blatant exploitation of a vulnerable woman. And this is the type of language they use to finesse to take over guardianship and accounts and properties of people. And you'll be a fool to think that Sabrina did not get a check once that condo was sold. Okay, because it's given she had to handle the paperwork. At least her attorney's office did. So therefore, you will be a fool to think there was not a profit. I cannot. I cannot. I can't. Okay. Um. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Where else are we? Okay, they say a New York judge initially granted the order to prevent the airing of Where Is Wendy Williams, but that was quickly reversed on appeal. So it was halted, but then an appeal happened, and then the other judge was like, "Oh hell nah, y'all can't do that. You know that's a violation." So a spokesperson at A&E and Lifetime said that they don't comment on lawsuits. A&E attorneys had argued earlier this year that the series reflected Williams' own journey through the guardianship process. Come on, the attorney, cause see, listen. They documented it as Wendy Williams' own journey through the guardianship process. See, that slick exposed the guardian, and she didn't really like that. But they also set it up to make it. That's why I said a finesse happened, because it made Wendy think. Well, I don't know if it made Wendy think or if they were having the Guardian assume that this was like a comeback. Wendy's trying to film for like a podcast and all of this stuff. This is why she's doing this docu-series, only to find out that when they did this docu, it really was high-key exposing how she's being cared for, and she's not. It was to expose the guardianship, and I'm so glad they did that, because that's when I learned more about it. That's when I went to go do my research. I was like, oh, I gotta bring this to the people. Well, people need to know about this, because this is crazy, and this is happening not just in New York, but all over the place. Somebody probably getting snatched up or just got snatched up right now. Okay. Child, ain't this something? Girl, the finesses be happening. Either they swooping in, taking over your body is how I feel. Okay. Isolating you from your family, and that's gonna make you sick too, in my personal. Or people going around trying to switch people's deeds. I don't know if y'all been saying that, like with people's houses and stuff, that been in their houses for a minute or whatever. People have been going down to wherever they gotta go and change the damn deeds and roll them over to their name or something, like to a stranger's name. Like, it's been crazy. I've been seeing stuff. I hate to see when older people have been, and just anybody in general really has been violated like that, to where you think that this your house and you've been paying a mortgage on this damn house, but somebody thought that they was able to go down there and change your deed into their damn, like, what the hell? Like, the finesses is crazy. And then they say it's easy to swap a person's deed into someone else's name, but then when you tell them this is inaccurate, like this person has nothing to do with my property, it's harder to reverse it. You got to go then and you got to buy an attorney. You got to get a retainer for an attorney. Go to court. All of this shit just to get this reverse. Like, it's crazy. Easy to get in it, but hard to get out of it. The people is crazy. Okay? They own something out here. Let's see, what else are they saying about this case? A&E attorneys, they argue that. So the attorney contended that only after seeing the documentary's trailer and realizing her role in Wendy Williams' life may be criticized, Seeing her role in Wendy Williams' life may be criticized, did Maurice. Okay, so boom, after she saw the role, after she was being exposed, like I told y'all, once she saw how she was being exposed and her involvement in Wendy's life, once she saw that she was going to be heavily criticized by people like myself, that's when she decided to enlist the courts to unconstitutionally silence that criticism. Suki Buki, no, ma'am. I'm so glad it was exposed. And now Kevin Hunter is on your ass. And I understand people being upset. You cheated on the wife. You did this. You ain't nothing. You did it. Girl, listen. I need him to move forward. Okay? I need him to move forward. Because y'all think he did her wrong when Wendy was aware. Guardianship, Wendy was not aware about. And they taking her down through there and that account too. And I refuse to believe otherwise. Okay. Now, Maurice has enlisted Robert Kaplan and her law firm to represent her in the amended complaint. They are seeking a declaration that Williams' contract is null and void, unspecified compensatory and punitive damages. Girl, goodbye. Disgorgement of proceeds from the documentary project, and an injunction prohibiting additional airings of items. Ma'am, you have time to start a whole new damn lawsuit, but you do not have time to forward. Do you know how easy it is to log in download and forward financial records over to the person that it's supposed to be going to, but you done started a whole new paper trail on a lawsuit, send the guards. Send them, immediately too. I cannot take this. And I'm so disappointed in the judges over there. I know the judge tried to put his foot down on her at the last hearing, and we appreciate you. Okay? But I need somebody to. Is there a way people can be held in contempt or something like that until she get him these records? Because I can't. She was supposed to get this man the records at the end of 2022. I believe Wendy went into guardianship that January 2022. At some point later that year, I believe his payments got cut off. Took her to court, and she was supposed to have those documents for him. I think it was at the end of 2022. Maybe it was 2023, but I know it's been over a year. Definitely, yeah, it's definitely. Now it had to be 2022 because it's been over a year since the last time I read that article back in April. So yeah, y'all, this is crazy. Um, this is crazy. I just can't. I mean, I don't know what else to say about this. I'm just disappointed. Okay, Maurice did not see the contract until months later. Oh, yeah, this was the part I was telling y'all about. The lawsuit claimed that the contract was for Williams' participation. Uh, the contract for Williams' participation was signed after the project started production, while she was clearly disheveled. Disheveled and not mentally present and confused. No person who witnessed Williams in these circumstances could have possibly believed that she was capable of consenting either to an agreement to film or to filming itself. And you feel like if she's been in this mental state for a minute, what makes you think she's gonna agree to y'all being over her accounts? And when Wendy came out and started airing the hell out of Wells Fargo, talking about how they've taken over her account, she can't get access to her money, some folks wasn't like really hearing her or believing her. They was just like, oh, Wendy tripping, like, girl, whoop de whoop de whoop, la 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 la. And around that same time, didn't Ryan Coogler go to Wells Fargo or something, or maybe that was Bank of America. Maybe it was Bank of America to get some money out, and then they arrested him. Like, the bank's been giving real funny. One lady, she was supposed to be receiving, I think, a large Social Security check from the damn government. It was with Bank of America, I do believe. And what ended up happening? Oh, girl, I don't know, because I be getting them confused because they one and the same to me, Bank of America and Wells Fargo. And they listed fraud on her damn thing. It took that lady months to get that check. She had to fight for it. So it's like, girl, these banks be on some funny stuff, honey. And you know that was right after the pandemic. So I can imagine what they was going through during and after. The year after 20, well, I feel like we probably was in the pandemic for longer than that. So about 2022. So in the midst of all of that, they was about shook the hell up. So people trying to take out large ass quantities. It's like, girl, we need your money so we can get money over here to these folk. Okay? Child, a damn mess. A damn mess. But they've been on some stuff. People thought that, they kind of they didn't really, I don't think anybody really took Wendy serious. Okay? Until now. We thought something was up with her when she sat up there and did the, what was it? That Fat Joe. Remember that Fat Joe interview she did? And she was trying to get her words out and stuff. That lady, she may hesitate to get her words out, but she slick. She be in her, y'all understand? She be in her right mind. She know what the hell going on. Thank you for the super chat, Lady Rose. See why our forefathers didn't trust banks? Okay. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. But yeah, it's a mess. What else? Yeah, so they go on to say the lawsuit alleged that her signature on the contract bears a printed, not cursive signature purporting to the signature of Wendy Williams, but looks nothing like WWH's signature. But if you feel like she is in this state, in disarray and in this state, wouldn't you, and if she got jitters and she's shaking, wouldn't you expect her signature to be different now than when it was when y'all got her earlier on, when one shit wrong with her? Okay? So she gonna try to use that, and I really hope she lose this case. Maurice did not see the contract until months later. Indeed, none of the defendants ever gained the guardian's consent for the Williams' participation in the film, and there was no way WWH could have consented as she was incapacitated prior to and during filming. Okay, so baby, move around. I can't. It pisses me off so much. It pisses me off, but you know that's what's going on with Wendy Williams, y'all. It's very unfortunate. Y'all just keep praying for Wendy, honey. I pray that she lives to see herself relieved from a guardianship. I really do.